Hello, everyone. My name is Kristin. I'm a contributor and writer for Film Fest Report, and I'm excited to give you all an exclusive interview with the team behind the latest animated short film that was selected for the Montclair Film Festival called Henrietta Finds a Nest. Now, this is an insanely adorable film that you all need to seek out. And I'm happy to connect with the team as they discussed making the film. But before we do, let me give you all a quick little rundown of the animated short. Now, this is about a chick named Henrietta who embarks on a heartwarming journey from neglect at a factory farm to friendship with a little girl. It's really, really cute, and I think you all are really going to like it. It's based on a true story, and it's got lots of love and friendship in it. So let's kick on over to my interview. But before we do, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to Film Fest Report so we can give you all more interviews like this in the future. So without further ado, let's kick on over to our interview. So thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak with me. I'm happy to be speaking with all of y'all. So can I get an intro of who you all are and what was your part in putting the film together?
I go first. I'm the CEO of Mercy for Animals. Officially, I am the executive producer of Henrietta Finds a Nest. The story, though, is based on a true story that I experienced and my daughter.
Aww.
And our chicken, Henrietta.
Aww. Hannah?
I'm Hannah. I was the director and designer on this project.
And Matt?
And I'm Matthew SCHEER, and I am our executive producer and writer on the film.
Wonderful. So I just have to jump in and ask away. Leah, this is a story that's very personal, as what you just said. It's a true story following your daughter. Why did you want to share the story with everyone?
Well, the story is based on something that really happened in my family. And that was where I was given the opportunity to rescue a chicken off of a factory farm. She was living in horrific conditions. All of her flock mates were taken to slaughter, and she was left behind, deemed unworthy for even slaughter. And so the farmer had said to me, if you want to take her, I won't say anything. Because technically the chickens are considered property. So I took her in my car, drove her 15 hours from Texas to Georgia, where I live, and began the healing process for her. And this was during COVID. My then kindergarten daughter had no contact with other people really during that time. And Henrietta and her just bonded. They just became siblings, and Henrietta would sleep in her room. My daughter taught her how to ride the Roomba and a skateboard. Everything you see in the film really happened. We have a grumpy cat, that was not too happy, but, okay with his new sibling. And what I wanted to share with this was really about joy. This was a time of a lot of suffering and difficulty. It was during COVID. But Henrietta came into our lives just when we needed her. And she reminded us about the joy that life can bring and the joy that comes from bonding with other animals. And I thought that was so important to share. We fight at Mercy for Animals for respect, freedom, protection of farmed animals. And this was such a beautiful way to illustrate that. And I was really so grateful to work with our internal team and Matt with his creative genius and Hannah and the folks at Mighty Oak Studios to be able to bring that message to life.
A chicken on a Roomba sounds very, very funny.
Who doesn't want to see that,
I know it sounds very funny, but I'm glad you got to bring this to life. And what really struck my attention is at the beginning of the film where it says, everyone deserves a place to nest, a place where they can feel their best. I thought that was an adorable way to really open the film. So how did you all come together? I know there was Mighty Oaks and Mercy for Animals. How did you all orchestrate together to tell this story?
Well, it was an exhaustive process. So Leah came to me, I think that was like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years at this point, which is kind of what got this all started. And Henrietta was like sort of at our office, so to speak. We're a fully remote team, but every day we would see little things that Henrietta would do, you know, eating watermelon, riding the Roomba. And she became this like icon, this mascot at the office. And so, you know, she was just part of our lives. And at a certain point, Leah said, I want to do something more with this. And to your point, Kristin, about the opening of the film, that phrase that everyone deserves to like feel safe, that goes beyond just animals. That's a thing that we all need. Humans are companion animals like dogs and cats, and also farmed animals. And so I said, Leah, let's do an animated short film. How hard could it be? How long could that take? And, you know, here we are 2 years later, blood, sweat, and tears, a lot of them. And so we started sort of just shopping the story around. I had written a very, very long script that I think everyone said would be a 45-minute feature at that point. And we interviewed just like a lot of different studios, and the reaction from the studios of everyone just being so excited about the project and hearing about everyone having their own experiences with chickens or pigs or cows or even dogs. We just knew we had something. So that process took a while because there were just so many amazing studios that we talked to. But then we really fell on Mighty Oak, and Mighty Oak would just like not leave us alone. And they just said, we need this. We want this. We want to partner with you and tell this like really beautiful story just about this simple concept that just transcends everything all the time, which is just friendship and kindness and compassion. And so they were persistent, and we said, y'all are you're the folks, let's do it. And then of course I met Hannah, who really gave Henrietta her wings and like brought this tale to life. And I mean, Hannah, how was it on your side, you know, dealing with me and us here at MFA?
Yeah, Hannah, please elaborate. I would love to know your directing process and how you really wanted to jump on board with this project.
Yeah, sure. So I work freelance with Mighty Oak, like on a freelance basis. So when this project came through to them, they asked me to help with the pitch. I think that's the first sort of experience I had coming onto the project. I think they thought that maybe the way that my style is like maybe would match what they were looking for at Mercy for Animals. And I was like very excited about it because like, I mean, there's also the Dodo video of Henrietta, and like everyone who watched that cries. And yeah, so it really touched me, did the real story of it. And so yeah, that's how I came on board. And then it went from there. Yeah. So, and it was, I can't remember when we started now. I think it was this time last year. So yeah. So I was pitching in the summer as well. So it's been like a process. Yeah.
So how long did the whole project come together? I know you just said last summer. How long did it, storyboarding wise, everything take to put together?
Yeah, I think we started, like we kicked off probably in September or October last year. And then I can't remember like the specifics of each round, but we had like, so firstly, like Matthew sent us the script, and then we sort of like spoke about that and like what sort of themes we really wanted to come through, like what story you wanted people to come away with, how did you want them to feel. And I think like from that, then we sort of like workshopped a bit more with the script, and we brought Diana McCory as well to like help with the writing. And then from that, we storyboarded quite a few versions, I think, just to get it right. I think there was don't look like that. That's like a normal process because it was there were so many things that you want to say with this film, because it's a story of like friendship, love, and just also like what can happen if you give animals a different choice, basically. And I don't think we do that really. We don't consider it. So, but the way we wanted to tell that was obviously in a way which was like joyful and not focusing too much on the sad, but also like that is part of it as well. That in the end, Henrietta like passes away, but she had, in that time, she had such a different life given to her, which is just beautiful. So so the storyboarding part was probably the most important in a way, to just get that right, I guess.
And one of the things that we just loved about Hannah is that we just wanted the whole film to just be eye candy and saturated and like full of that joy, because the type of work that Leah and I do here at Mercy for Animals, we don't see a lot of that. You know, like Henrietta coming from a factory farm, I mean, those are windowless sheds that are just like smell foul. And, you know, Henrietta was only supposed to live for 6 weeks. That's when all chickens are sent to slaughter. And the contrast was so important for us to achieve. And we wanted to say, this is a story that, you know, started as a nightmare, but like it became this dreamlike thing. And I think we really nailed it and really accomplished it. And I mean, 8 billion chickens are slaughtered in the US every year alone. Wow. And so Henrietta's story is really, truly like 1 of a billion. And Hannah really brought that to life, which is just fantastic.
Going off of bringing the animation and the whole film together, it really feels like you're stepping into a painting with each shot. It's all gorgeous. That's what I love about animation, and especially this short in particular. Can you discuss the illustration process for this film?
Yeah, so I think in the beginning, we obviously had like some ideas from Matthew about like what he likes and like, you know, what the direction could be. And then from that, like, well, my style, I don't know if I have like a specific style, but I think like I like to work in bright colors and things like that. So I think that's why it kind of worked on this project. And I come from painting originally, so now I work digitally and as an animator and all that stuff, but I originally used to be a painter, so I think I like bringing that into my work. It's sort of a bit of an organic feel. We wanted it to feel quite I guess kind of like a painting, like textured and just beautiful. And so that's where that came from. And I think colour was really important in telling this story because of like the sad parts of it and the joyful parts. So we really wanted that to come across in using colour for that, which is something that I like to do. I think like the way that you use colour can really set the mood of things. So that's kind of what was a real focus in the film. And I also, when we got into the designing process, I was like art directing, but we also had some background designers come on who were amazing as well, and really just like elevated it to what it is.
You obviously had a great and big team involved on this project, and also what I got from this film, which you mentioned earlier, this is a story of love and friendship. What do you all hope the audiences take away from this? Leah, I would love to start with you.
Yeah, the key thing is to consider, and Hannah started to talk about this, what does an alternative reality look like for farmed animals in our world? What would happen if we extended the same kind of friendship and relationship with chickens as we do with our dogs and cats that we share our homes with and our hearts with? And it was to inspire that and get people motivated and excited and feel the potential of another world, which then opens the possibility of another world for farmed animals. As Matt said, Mercy for Animals is fighting for a world where animals are respected, protected, and free, specifically farmed animals in our food system. And it's so hard for us to do that without, we usually just show all the horrors happening, the 9 billion chickens. And this was a way to flip that coin and say, but look at the love we're missing out on. Look at the joy we're missing out on, and inspire new generation, new families to join us in that fight at Mercy for Animals.
Hannah, do you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that was put perfectly, really. Yeah, that. And I think also just the gift of friendship as well was kind of something that came across, like what happens when you open yourself up to, I don't know, becoming friends with a chicken, or like, and it was also about through, you know, if, sorry, let me just think of my point. So the main thing, I guess, takeaway was that Henrietta was given a better life through this happening, but also we kind of wanted to show how Henrietta then improved the lives of those around her as well, without them maybe even considering that, you know, until after the fact, and how it was kind of like a mutual thing, that it elevated everyone's lives who were involved in the story.
So I'm going to wrap up very soon, but I do have to ask, this is showing at the Montclair Film Festival. We are a Film Fest website. What does it mean to you to have all this work pay off and having the film shown at a film festival? And do you have plans to bring it to more festivals or release the short online?
Well, we're just getting started, Kristin. So we have the Chicago Reel Film Festival on November 9th, and we have a couple of others that we haven't announced yet as well. So Henrietta is on her festival tour, and we will be releasing the short film next year to the full public. And it feels fantastic just to see and hear all of the reactions from folks who are watching this like 7-minute film coming up to us and saying like, oh my God, I laughed, I cried. And that's a hard thing to do in 7 minutes. Okay. Yeah. So it's been really rewarding. And yeah, we can't wait to see Henrietta really take flight in 2025.
Well, it definitely touched on my heartstrings. I love seeing Henrietta's story come to life. Thank you all for taking the time to speak with me. It was a great honor, and I hope you all can collaborate again. I think this is a bright future for all of you to tell more creative stories like this.
Absolutely. Thanks for your time. And you're officially a Henrietta's hatchling now, by the way. So join the club.